Happy Tuesday, everyone. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Welcome to Ed Talk TV, conversations worth having. This is your first time. This is a business talk show. We talk about business, tech, and the user experience. And you don't want to be shy around here. You want to make sure you hop into those comments, even if you're catching the replay, and say hello. Let us know who you are and what you get out of this episode. We go live Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can find all of the episodes here on the page if you're watching me on Facebook, but I also have it over on the website. Yeah. So I put a couple links in the comments for you guys. The Start Here one is checkwithed.com. You type in that URL and you go straight to my main website, and then you can either work with me or learn from me. You're going to want to click Learn from Me if you want to find episodes from previous episodes of the show. When you hit Learn from Me, you will actually be able then to click through to the show and get information on that. You can also become a guest. That's a cool free thing for you to get experience, get your message out there, and join me live here on the show. I'm going to go through a couple more housekeeping things. So real quick for those who are new, and also just a reminder for those who are seasoned. So real quick, we have that one. We're celebrating on Friday, not this Friday, but next Friday. We are going to be celebrating our 100th episode, and I'm inviting up to 5 people to join me live and come celebrate. So there's a link in the comments for you to do that. It's first come, first serve, so jump in on that. Don't miss that one. And then, last but not least, I just created today a new paid workshop that's going to be happening next Wednesday. You can take a look in the comments later, but because it's on a new page for you guys, and I did this work for you today before all my other to-do lists items, I'm going to go ahead and show this to you right now. Whoops, let me get to the right one. I do this every time. I got to first click back here. So when you click that link later, not right now, you are going to be actually taken to this new page on my website, and it's just for you, where I have the classes clean, easy to find, and I'll be adding more there. If you're not a Hey Ed member, you can find out more here because that does give you discounts. And in this case, if you decide to go with this new workshop, which I'm doing next week on how to get auto replies for your Facebook page, why it's important, why you need it, you'll definitely want to sign up here. And if you're a Hey Ed member, you get it for free. And there's details about that inside the community. So it pays to be a Hey Ed member, especially right now because prices do go up June 1st. Bam! There's my housekeeping. There's all my stuff for you. Today we're going to be talking about updates, which is kind of what we just covered, but we're also going to talk about Facebook and live streaming updates, kind of what they came out with, and then we're going to do all that. And so tell me how your day's going. We're going to go over to have random news. Here's Mickey jumping right in on time. I love it. So we're going to talk about some random news before we jump into today's content. And this one, well, can we just reflect on yesterday's? It wasn't really random news. I mean, it was, but it was the whole show. If you missed yesterday's episode, you guys, you're going to want to take a look at it because we talked about the whole new initiative being put out called Be First, and there's so much to take away from that. So much. Bottom line is, do your market research before you launch something, please. And because we are who we are, we're going to do that, and we're going to launch something, and we're going to test it, and we're going to make tweaks. Not so sure that's going to happen with what was rolled out yesterday. We also learned, that the name says it all in terms of what it's not and what we are not about. And I will tell you, you guys, I told one of my good friends, I was like, did you hear what happened today? The Be First, I think, no, Be Best, sorry. See, you can't even remember what it is. It's that bad. They're like, huh? I said, Be Best. They looked at me like this. What? Like, that was the initial reaction. Then I was talking to my mom on the phone, and I asked her, I said, so did you check out what was launched today? She's like, oh, yeah, something, I don't know. I was like, Be Best. Like, that's the reaction from various ages of, I was going to say, from various ages of people. That doesn't make sense. Talking about bad grammar. Jeez. We saw yesterday from 10-year-olds, because we had some of you, our viewers, check in with your kids who were around 10, and then ages varied from there. Then we have us, our 20s, our 30s, our 40s, and then others that are in their 50s and their 60s and maybe older. So we saw across the board, just in our little tiny but mighty market research group here, we saw that nobody got it. Nobody understood it. Nobody cared about it. And we all could pretty much write it off as that doesn't work. Sadly, it's out in the world, and I really doubt that anybody is going to go fix that. I would be so surprised, you guys. Tell me in the comments if you would be too. I would be so surprised if they went through and revamped it. If they were just like, you know what, we messed this one up. We need to fix this. I would be amazed if they did that. It's not going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. Sadly, I think they really should, and they have plenty of time to do it. But it's not. They've already. It's checked off the list. You know, we pretty much wrote that off yesterday as it was just a box to check off the list, and now it's done. So that's part of random news. Now, what about this? So everything is a business, you guys. I don't know if you realize this. Everything is a business. I'm talking about small mom and pop shops. I'm talking about online stores. I'm talking about nonprofits. Yep, nonprofits, you're a business. I'm talking about schools, you're a business. We are all businesses. We all have businesses or are part of businesses. And, you know, things just always get so, this is what I love about business is it gets so interesting when you start looking up things that pop up online in terms of business news, social media news, when you're scrolling through your Facebook feed and you come across some of the craziest things that people come up with for a business. I mean, we've seen in the past, the potato, it's so long ago, I forget, but like where you write on the potato, I think with marker, and then they were selling the potatoes. There's something about that. There was the dirty jeans, like they had the mud stained jeans that were really put in mud that were hundreds of dollars. They have those new jeans that, well, you can't see because I'm not wearing jeans, but I'm wearing shorts, which you can't see either. But it's one of those things, though. Shelly, hello. It's one of those things where, you know, fashion's a little crazy anyway, but when it comes to some of these expensive things, they have these new jeans. Have you seen them? They're completely shredded. Like there's really nothing there. It's literally a waistband with a little bit of denim on the side, and then it goes down the side of your legs, and then it has, you know, your ankles, but everything in between is pretty much gone. I don't even know the name of it, but it's apparently sold out, and it was several $100s for jeans, but they're actually not. There's no jeans. Like it's just an outline of denim. It's the weirdest thing. So anyway, so we've seen all of these really random, really weird at times business ideas that somehow are taking off and somehow they're making their money. Are they going to be sustainable? We don't know. Yes, when you hear things like the jeans selling out, you think, wow, like people are actually buying that and they're spending all of this money on that. But you have to ask yourself, is it sustainable? No, probably not. Remember, we're not about the sale today. We're about the relationship over time. That's what you want to be about for your business, because that's how you're going to run a sustainable business and stay open longer. If you worry about today's sale, then you're going to be on the edge there, and you're going to constantly be doing that, and you're going to burn out, and it's going to be very tough. Mickey says, I'm selling invisible t-shirts. Click the link to order today. Exactly, Mickey. I'm telling you guys, the stuff that I come across. There's one today that I'm not even going to show you guys right now because it's bad. It's definitely not, it's not for us right now. Well, maybe later. We'll see. But the other one I'm going to show you, and I'm just going to show you the screen clip of this because we don't really need to actually see the video. I think you can get it from the screen clip that I'm going to show you. But there's this lady who is a massage therapist. And, well, I guess I should probably just let you see for yourself what you might think she specializes in. So let's take a look. So this came up in my newsfeed the other day from somebody who shared it, and I don't know who, I forget, but they shared it and I thought, this can't be right. And apparently there's this lady who is a massage therapist who bites people for their massage. And apparently it's good. Lots of people are doing it. I don't know anybody who's doing it. It's very weird to me, and that's just very disgusting, to say the least. Now, I will say, the first thing that popped into my head was legal game. Like, when it comes to business, you need your finance and your legal game on point. Those are the two things that you need to have on point. Everything else, of course, can come later, but those are the two things you need to have on point. Legal. Like, how many of you are thinking there's a lawsuit waiting to happen? I mean, how many times have we heard or have thought of, massage things going wrong and not, there's just a lot of already, what am I trying to say? There's a lot of dangers when you put yourself in a situation like that anyway, when you're one-on-one with someone and when you're undressing, and then when you start putting your mouth on people, it just is dirty. Just dirty. Mickey says, this kind of consumerism is why people laugh at Yep, Lindsay says, that's the worst. Definitely lawsuit waiting to happen. I just hope that she has good insurance. She better be paying a premium price because somebody is going to take it to that level because that's an easy payday. I mean, let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. People are always looking for a payday. They find that one and they're like, listen, I can get a massage. It's going to hurt a little bit. It's going to feel good. Oh, and maybe I can get a few thousand out of this too because I could sue her. Like, I'm just saying, that's not me. I hope that's none of you guys. I don't think it is. But we know that there's people out there that are like that. And when you do things like this, that's just, I think we still need to brainstorm. Again, it's just like yesterday's episode. We got to go back to the brainstorming. Like, start with brainstorming. Get the first idea. That's cool. Great. But keep going. Don't just settle on that first idea. I can't tell you guys how many times. Okay, let's learning. We're going to learn here, as we always do. When I had my first business, Mix It Up Magazine. For those who don't know, I had my first business in college, and it was a magazine. And I printed 2 issues, and I have all 4 online. You can see them later on my website. But when I was coming up with that idea, and this happens with all my ideas, but I wanted to use that as the example. The name Mix It Up, because we're going to just say the name in terms of starting with. The name Mix It Up was not the first one on my list. There were so many on that list over days, weeks, and months of a period of time that I had to choose from and narrow down. Vivify might have been one. There was a friend of mine and I were trying to work on this together at the time, like early stages. We thought, how cool would this be? Let's try to get a really crazy creative name that's like just pops, And so something about the V was like, okay, so what names? And Vivify. There was something else I can't remember. Obviously, Vivify was a good one because I remember it. But we went down the line with that. And then we started to evolve into all these other ones. And it wasn't until months later where it was like, okay, mix it up. That works because I was mixing things up. I was having a little bit of everything in this one magazine. Everything from work to play to volunteer to our parents and our grandparents, like all of it in one spot. So it just made sense. So that's the stuff that you have to think about too is don't just run with the first idea. You know, let's say this lady had to make money because she was like, this is a good idea to start. Let me make money. And it's totally unique. It's very unique. And run with it. Okay, well, I mean, if that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do, but let's not stop there. Let's make sure that we can kind of, step our game up a little bit. And maybe, here we go. Here. How about this? How about this? Now that she started, how about we stop that and now we just produce books or courses or some kind of training that she can safely do with her partner in order to get the message out there that biting is a good form of massage and that it's best used with a loved one or, your partner or whatever. I don't know, but I just feel like there's so much more that could be done here to really tighten this up a little bit. I just don't know. Mickey says, Erica, there's a difference. I'm just catching up on the comments. Sorry, guys. Sometimes I read the comments and it's like, oh, and then I need to stop. So anyway, that's part of random news today. How about that? But you don't have to go outside. How about that? Did you see what I did there? So we have that part. And then what we're going to talk about today is the Facebook live streaming. So how many of you guys are streaming live on Facebook these days? And even if you're watching the replay, tell me in the comments. Are you streaming once a day, once a week, once a month, several times during the day? What's that look like for you? And I'm not even talking about business page versus personal profile. You can tell me in the comments. Let me know if you're on one more than the other. Share with me in the comments. But I just want to know how many of you guys are actually live streaming on Facebook. I will tell you that I'm going to share with you here in a second some best practices that come straight from Facebook. There's stuff that we have talked about before on the show, and they're really good. But Facebook has now come out with let me back up. They haven't come out with it. They put the news out today, but it will be rolling out because they're still testing it. But now they're going to have a rewind feature for live broadcasts, similar to what YouTube has. So what do you think the live rewind is? I mean, it may or may not be obvious. I don't want to say it's obvious because it may or may not be. But live rewind, what do you think about that? What do you think it is, and do you like that idea or not? And then we're going to talk about this. Lindsay says, yep, she's live streaming. Mickey says, yes, weekly on her business page, weekly in her Facebook group for her online course. Nice, very nice. Love that. So live rewind. I think that, let's just start with what it is. So live rewind is similar to, for those who are fancy and have cable, I don't, live rewind is where you can basically pause live TV and rewind to go back to the beginning. So for a lot of us here on Facebook, we may jump into a Facebook Live halfway through, 10 minutes after they started, whatever, and we're like, oh, we missed it. But I have the time right now, and I don't really want to wait till the end of the live to refresh the page, to then click back on the live to start at the beginning. Yeah? How many of you guys do that or have done that? And it's a pain. I say the same thing, where if I'm watching someone's live and I jumped in late because of timing or Facebook showing me it late, whatever, I'll get in and it's like, oh, okay, well, this sounds really good, but I can't watch what they talked about until they end the broadcast, and then I have to refresh my page because it won't just start over. I have to refresh my page, then click play in order to proceed with that. So it's a big pain. So they're going to start rolling out live rewind so that when you guys show up a few minutes after I start or halfway through or whatever, you guys can jump into the conversation, but you'll somehow be able to rewind and start from the beginning so it's just like you were here on time. How cool is that? What do you guys think? Do you guys like that feature? Do you think that that's something that you will love using and have your audience members use? Let me know in the comments. Even if you're watching the replay, I'm going to take a look at our comments here. Mickey says, yeah, the viewers can rewind live videos while they're live. Yes, love it. Erica says, oh, we can rewind Ed Talk TV? Bam! Bam! I just love that when you guys talk about Ed Talk TV. I think it's super cool. One of these days, we're going to have the whole setup. Like, whole setup. I don't know how many of you guys have seen. Hey, Mindy, welcome. How many of you guys have seen the new Red Table on Facebook Watch with Jada Pinkett Smith? I decided to watch that last night because it's new. Will Smith was talking about it, and of course, market research. You got to see what people are putting out there and understand like what's working, what's not, how you can make it better. Hint, hint. And so, hey, Carol, welcome. So, I was watching that last night, and tell me if you guys have seen it and what your thoughts are. It's very interesting when you can get people around a table and when you can have that studio feel. So, big picture, how cool would that be if Ed Talk TV was one of those studio things? Maybe not all the time, but what if there is a time where we can do, every so often, it's that studio vibe, and it's the whole setup, and we have like a whole set where we can have people come in, like a real talk show. I mean, that's like big picture, you guys. So any producers out there watching, like, let's hook it up. Don't even worry about our numbers. Worry about our engagement because we got that on point. I'm talking to you, producer, those who are scouting right now. There you go. Let me check in the comments here real quick. Lindsay says, can they then watch it in Facebook? I don't know what FF is. Maybe like in Marco Polo. So, fast forward? Oh, you mean in fast forward? I don't know. They didn't say anything about fast forward. See, I love how you guys are already like, okay, well, we're rewinding, but can we fast forward? I'm guessing you can because I'm thinking of it like live TV where you can fast forward to where you need to go up into the point where they're live because you obviously can't go past that because they're still live. So that's my guess. So yes, they just didn't say it in there. Let's see. Mickey says, saw a Red Table. So Mickey, how did you like it? She said she really liked the Red Table. Anything that stood out to you? Anybody else watch it? Erica says, so how would comments work if you are still live? And well, Erica's thinking about that. Welcome to those joining. By the way, for those real quick who are just now joining, we're talking about live rewind feature coming soon on Facebook Live, which you would be able to use later to go back. But since you can't, I'm going to rewind for a second and let you know. Check the comments after the show. I put 3 different links for you. 1 to start with me, 1 to become a guest on our 100th episode to celebrate, and 1 for the new workshop that's coming next Wednesday. It's a paid one, not here on the page. And if you're a Hey Ed member, you get it for free. So it pays to be a Hey Ed member, which you can find all the details with that link. Fast forward, boop. We are talking about rewind feature, and Mickey says, I really liked Red Table. I felt like it borrowed from what we do on Facebook Live and upped the level because of Hollywood production budget. I like that you said that. Because I felt that way too. I was like, this is like what we do every day, all day. This is what we do. We're just not on Facebook Watch because we don't have the production. That's okay. We got the engagement. That's all we need. That's all you need. And it takes time. Remember that. It takes time. So don't get down and out on yourself if you don't have that engagement going because it takes time. So let me just check here. Mindy, but can we hear you talk like a chipmunk? How about that? Apparently that's my words today. How about that? Carol says she watched it last night too. Nice. Yeah, it was interesting. So if you guys haven't watched it, go take a look at it. It doesn't matter if you like Jada or any of the conversation that she's actually having. Look at it for market research. Look at it for ideas on how you might be able to do your Facebook show. Again, you may not have the production, the Hollywood setup. I don't. Hello. I mean, look, I got a fan right there, you guys. What? I got the door frame. Come on. So you do with what you have, or work with what you have, but watch things like that because you want to be able to get ideas of How are they presenting themselves? How do they present the topics? How casual, how professional are they? Does that work for you? Does that work for your audience? See, aren't you glad you showed up today? Aren't you glad that you're tagging a friend and sharing this out later? I am, because you learned a lot, right? So it's one of those things that you use things that are already out there to learn from and to really just factor that in. That's how I started my podcast, you guys. That's how I started this show. Is I watched and I listened to things that were already out there. What did I like? What did I not like? What feels right for me? What feels right for my audience? All of that plays a huge part. I was getting blown up on my messages here. So think about that, and whatever you're working on, that's what you need to do with your market research. Now, here's some tips from Facebook. I'll put this link in the comments so that you guys will have it, and let me know later, even if you're watching the replay, if you're doing any of these things. I'm going to start reading some of the tips, or if you plan on doing it. Either way, I want to know in the comments later. So I'm going to be looking down just a little bit here because I want to read from this blog post, which I'll share with you here at the end. For Facebook, when you're going live, these are some of the things. Got to go and rewatch. No problem, Destiny. Thanks for tuning in. Think about these things for when you go live. And we talk a lot about these, and you guys can probably pick it up from what you see here every day. But we're going to go ahead and go through some of these. So this introduction. From Facebook. They say, we shared a number of updates to video on Facebook over the last several months. Newsfeed rankings update to favor video content that people seek out and return to regularly. Ding, ding, ding. That's you guys. Showing up. You're showing up here regularly. Well done. Check. You guys got that. Now, the next thing they talk about, newsfeed rankings update to favor video that inspires interaction and conversation among people watching the content. Oh, show up and engage. Interesting. Huh. And obviously you're delivering because you have to deliver something in the comments where the magic happens. Remember, the magic happens in the comments before you can engage with people. So you just hit all 3 points in the first 2 points that Facebook has on their blog post here. Well done. Well done. You guys are so smart. You guys are on point. I'm glad I follow you. I'm glad I interact with you guys because you guys know what's up. You guys are up. Venus, what's happening? You guys are the cool kids. I'm glad I'm hanging out with you. Man, you guys know what's going down. So I'm going to just blow through this. It's just going to be a little choppy, by the way, if you're new around here, but it's just going to be a little choppy because I'm going to go through this blog post. But it says, inspire social interaction around your content. Ask yourself this. There's going to be 3 bullet points that you're going to ask yourself. 1, are people engaging in your video? Huh. Are you obsessed? Have you observed a lot of reactions, shares, and conversation around the video? Yes. Yes. The shares we're working on. And yes. Good job. Ask yourself. Number 2. Are people resharing videos to their profile timeline or sharing with friends over Messenger? Well, that kind of ties into number 1 still because of the shares, and we're still working on that, but we somewhat have that checked off the list because you guys are good. Then number 3, ask yourself this. Is there a way for fans to become more engaged, potentially by helping to inform the topics or talent for your videos? Huh. So maybe having guests come on your show? Maybe encouraging people to share in the comments? I don't know. Maybe. Even replay viewers, talking to your replay viewers, encouraging them to share and talk. Yes, thank you so much for putting those down. I love that when you guys do that. Mindy, are you Facebook showing my video to anyone? Yeah, that is a question we ask. That is a good one, Mindy. How many of you guys would add this one to Facebook's blog post? Quote, are you Facebook showing my video to anyone. That's about all of us. Yeah, exactly. Then we have, yes, I know it takes time. Yeah, it does. It takes a lot of time. And you guys, remember, you might have just found me. Hey, what's happening? You might have been around for a while. I love you guys. But either way, realize that I've been doing this for a long time, even unofficially for the show. I look back at some of my videos that I have, and I'm like, wow, I have actually been live streaming / been on video for a few years now. It's crazy. Because, I just think about the show now, and it's like, well, we've only officially been doing the show since January. But no, I've been doing a lot of this, and I've been building my audience throughout my networking online and offline for years. So understand that it's not just, well, Ed has all these views, Ed has all these things. No. And also, speaking of that, let's talk about views for a second. I want you guys to, and I think Mickey brought this up in our Hey Ed community the other day. I want you to realize that the reach, the views, the likes, the shares, all that stuff, I mean, that's obviously great, and we obviously need metrics to figure out like what's working, what's not. But I want you to pay more attention to, at this stage in the game, especially if you're just starting out, just pay attention to these two things. Show up and deliver. Know a topic, know up to 3 talking points, and run with it. That's all I want you to do. That's all your audience wants you to do. Yes, it's going to be discouraging because you're not going to get people, you may, but we're going to say worst case scenario, you are not going to get people showing up to your lives during the live broadcast. You're not going to get people that share it out or that even show a reaction. Again, this is all worst case scenario. So understand that going into it and just focus on showing up and delivering. And then when you get somebody who does show reaction, who does comment, who does share, you better get up in there and you engage. You engage. That's what you need to be doing. And that's how you build your audience. So I hope that's helpful for you there. Let me see what Mickey says. Am I the only one who hears this as a bit of a way to exclude small businesses and promotes larger businesses will probably spend more in Facebook promotion budgets? Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too. We were talking about this the other day as well. You have to understand, Facebook is rented space. We all know that. We have to be reminded of that constantly. It's rented space. We are privileged to have this opportunity to be here. We always need to make sure we try to have a backup plan if things go south. But it's great that we're here and that we're utilizing this space. But you also have to understand that Facebook business pages, it's a pay-to-play world. Now, let me back up. That is what comes from Facebook. I do not pay for any ads. Thankfully, I have not paid for any advertisements for anything. And I try to keep it that way. That's my plan, is not to do ads. It's just to put in the work. And it has paid off in terms of you guys are here. We're working together. You follow my page. Not just like, but you follow my page. And when you look at my page later, you'll see I have more followers than likes. It's awesome. That's what you want. Because then, hopefully they have turned on see first so that they see my broadcasts. We're going to get into this in the blog post here in a little bit. But then you also know that I have a regular show, Ed Talk TV. That's this one that you're watching. That shows up Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You also know that happens so you can set your alarms / put in your calendar 5 minutes before the showtime. Hey, Ed's going live. That way you don't even have to worry about Facebook and if it's going to show you anything or not. So you start to train yourself and then you train your audience members about all of those tricks. And then that's how you start to build your engagement. And it takes a lot of time and a lot of work. It is not easy. Which is why Facebook ads are so cheap, because it's easy for you to just say, well, I'll just put $5 down. I'll put $10 down. I'll boost this post. I don't know, you guys. I'm not hating on anybody that does that. I don't know too much about the Facebook ads world in the sense that I don't do that yet. And I actually, it's kind of a pride. Hey, Sheila, it's kind of a pride thing at this point. At some point, I may have to pay for ads. I'm going to put that out there because you will all watch this video at some point in the future and things will have changed, and then maybe I would have to pay for ads. But right now, I don't pay for any ads, and I'm proud of that. It's taken a lot of work. But I feel, and I may not have those crazy numbers that one would look at and be like, dang, like 500,000 followers and all that stuff. I may not have those, but I will tell you what I do have. You. I have you guys. I have you guys who are always showing up whenever you can. Doesn't have to be live. You can watch the replay. You can watch it in a week, or 2 weeks, whatever. You are always showing up. You're always engaging. And that's what we have. We have the engagement. So going back to that earlier comment that we were talking about with the views and the likes and all that stuff, try not to worry too much about that stuff, especially if you're starting out, because those will all come later. And just because you have so many views doesn't mean anything if you don't have that engagement. And that is why it's number 3 on my 3 core values. That is key. Everything that you do here leads to here. And if you're listening to me on audio, I'm pointing to the show up, deliver, and engage sign. So keep that in mind. Let me just see. Mindy says, I think some of my followers are just stalkers. Oh yeah, you guys, a lot of us, we all have secret followers. Please, I do too. I have so many people that will just follow me that are probably watching this right now that won't even comment. I see you. I see you. Or they'll send me a text message or a messenger message, whatever. Like, we all have those. So you have to understand that as well. So the metrics really aren't 100%. So even if it did say you reached, 100 people, it still doesn't necessarily mean that, or that's probably the wrong one. Maybe views, comments. You get it. You understand what I'm saying. So let's keep going on this blog post from Facebook. For those who just tuned in, check the comments later for all the links. But we're talking about Facebook's blog post on live streaming. So we talked about those. Do the following. So here's what they're suggesting that you do. 1. I don't know why I do the thumbs up for the 1 instead of just this. It's weird. So for what you should be following, what you should be doing, create content that is likely to drive discussion. Focus on content your audience will connect and engage with. While shorter, I think they messed up on this other word. We're just going to say shorter content can often see shares. This content may not engage deeper interaction among people that are around that content. So that brings up a good question, because I know you already are asking me this. Ed, how long should I go live for? I know, it's the common question. I know. Okay. So how long should you go live for? Well, it depends. What are you going to be delivering? If it only takes a few minutes, then it only takes a few minutes. If you can, try to go longer. Don't go so long that you're just sitting there like, hey, what's happening? Let's get down. I'm just hanging out, killing time. No. You just do what you need to do. Get on and get off. That's it. Lindsay says, great question, Ed. I know. You guys are full of great questions. I already know because I'm hanging out with the cool kids. And yes, I love this. Focus on engaging content, right? So time, don't worry about time. Worry about what's your topic, what are 3 talking points that you can cover. Because the reason I always say the 3 talking points, do you know? Tell me, even if you're watching the replay, in the comments. Why do I say up to 3 talking points? Because I'm going to take some water, some mint water. I just needed some flavor to my water. Yes, that's right. So the reason why you have 3 talking points is because that way you are already prepping yourself as you go into your broadcast. It's like going to a test, take a test at school or at work. You study. You have your little bullet points. You kind of review right before you take the test. That's what your talking points are. That way, you're not just sitting there saying, okay, this broadcast is going to be about Facebook Live. You know what I'm saying? Like, then you have your 3 talking points. Just like for me starting out, we started with housekeeping, basically what I offer, where you can find things. Then we went into random news. We then are now covering the actual content. Pretty simple, right? And there's so much in between, but those are like the 3 main things. So just know that that's what you got to do. Something else Facebook says on here. Look closely at engagement around each video. Eyeball and evaluate the volume of reactions, shares, and conversations. You can also use tools like Crowd Triangle to identify what's working and what's not. I've actually never tried that. I don't even know what that is. I'll have to look it up later. But for you guys, if you have a page, you can click on your Insights tab up at the top when you're on your page, and then you can look at your videos. And obviously, if you haven't done any yet, there's not going to be anything there. But as you start to do them, you can then look at your insights there and start looking at what's getting the most engagement. Why? Always ask yourself why. Now, when I was presenting at the high school 2 weeks ago, I had talked about social media marketing. I got to speak there on social media marketing, and we talked about this same thing, is that I went through and I picked out 3 or 4 of my videos, both here on the page and my personal page. Now, here on the page, I'm able to see the insights there and see what got the most reaction. Can you guess what got the most reaction? Some of you might already know this, but can you guess what got the most reaction, or which topic I cover gets the most in it? I almost said it. The most, okay, fine. The most engagement. It's the ones where I talk about engagement. It's the weirdest thing. It's crazy. I know. I got the dog like right down here. He's like right by my feet. It's the weirdest thing. It's really cool. But that tells me that people are coming to me to figure out how they can step up their engagement. So, what do I need to do? That's right. I need to start putting out content around engagement. Very good. Exactly. So that's what they're telling you here. And then the third bullet point of what you should be doing is encouraging your social team to communicate directly with your audience. Bruh. Really? Really? First off, social team is me. Social team is you, I'm sure. If you have a nice big company and you're watching us, awesome, hello, and you have your social media team, then yes, you need to train them. This is what I can do for clients as well, is you train them to engage with your audience. It's social media. It's all about the conversation. So having this as the third bullet point for me is kind of like a duh, but I know it's not necessarily out there for everyone, and everyone's doing their own thing. Let's break it down too. If you're a decent sized company, meaning you have somebody else besides you doing things, especially the social media part, it's not always going to be clear as day that you have to engage with your audience. I get that. That's why you call me. That's why I come in and help you and get it all straightened out. Because there's a thing that you have to do. There's several things. But you have to engage with your audience. You can't just show up and just, here you go. Here, I posted today. I'm good. No. There's a whole strategy behind your social media posts, behind your engagement, behind your audience. There's so much there. And I realize you can't do it all. We can't do it all. But that's when we have to seek outside help. That's where we seek experts to help us get on point. And yes, there is a point where you could manage to do it on your own once you are aware of the unknowns and what you need to be doing. Because it's not always clear. Social media was basically given to us, and it was just like, hey, go sign up, and here you go, put out your content. There was not really any formal training around that. You know, I look at it as the same way as with email. Email came out, and then shortly after we got text messaging. And people pretty much skipped email in terms of learning how to format properly and use it, and went straight to text messaging, and then it got all clustered in between both of those. Whereas I was lucky enough to be trained by my photo editor at the time, shout out to Sam, if you ever see this, who was awesome. I was a photo intern at a magazine a long time ago, and thankfully she trained me on how to properly format my emails. And it's awesome. By the way, there is free training where I take that knowledge and I share it with you guys over on Stupid Easy. So you're welcome, and it's a free course. I believe it's still free that you can check out later. But again, if you go to checkwithed.com, all the stuff is there. Just click on Learn from Ed. Yeah, Learn from Ed, and then click Stupid Easy. Boom, it will take you. So there's that. Encourage your team, your social team, to communicate directly with your audience. It's so important, you guys. It's so important. It takes time, but it is so worth it. Many of you who are in the Hey Ed community, you guys know, you see me all day long. I mean, today too, I was like, I got this comments on point today. I'm like going through, I'm doing my work, I'm doing my editing, I'm doing client work, I'm doing this and that. And in between, I got all the comments like boom, 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 boom. Both personal, business, and in the community. Like that, it's just, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. But see, I love this stuff. I love connecting with you guys. I love engaging. I've always been like this ever since I was a kid. My mom is always like, do you ever stop? Do you ever stop talking? What do you have to talk about? Are you still going? Yeah, of course. What are you talking about? I can always talk. What are you talking about? Lindsay says, are you reading my mind, or am I just not seeing all the comments? Lindsay, I'm reading your mind. I'm just that good. You say, that's right, and I'm like, is he talking to me? Wait, I didn't comment. I know. That's what you get today. That's what you guys all get today. It's just Ed. Just Ed on a roll. That's it. All right, so we're getting close on time, so let's keep going. So on this blog post, Facebook's now talking about how you want to create loyal viewership. That's you guys. That's you. You guys are showing up. You're loyal, and I appreciate you. Every time when I say that, I always think of DJ Khaled. I appreciate you. I can't say it the way he can, but you know what I'm saying. I do. I really do appreciate you guys showing up all the time, even if you're watching the replay. Mickey says, agreed. I can't to see all of the comments either right now for some reason, but I can tell that Ed is responding to a comment. You guys are funny. So you like that? I don't know. So for this loyal viewership from this Facebook blog post, it says people coming back to watch more videos from your page. The more people come back to watch each episode of your show or unique videos from your page, whether it be week after week or episode to episode in a binge season. Some of you guys do that on the weekends, and I appreciate it. Fun fact, side note, if you are on my email list, which you should be if you actually are following me here, you might as well be on my email list. It's free, and you get one email a week with the weekly recap. And I know a lot of you guys enjoy that because you can catch up on the episodes and find out fun facts that you might have missed during the week because there's a lot going on. So that was the side note. Back to the article. Facebook values videos that inspire viewers to come back and watch more. Okay. Let's just pause for a second and get back to that part right there. Quote, Facebook values videos that inspire viewers to come back and watch more. Isn't that beautiful? And I want to replace, let's do a little editing here. I'm going to see if I can do this live with you guys. We're going to do some live editing and see how bad I can mess this up. We value videos that inspire us, the viewer, to keep coming back and watch more. That last part I messed up. I was trying to put you guys in there. I was trying to put you, like, instead of Facebook, You value videos that there we go. You value videos that inspire viewers to come back and watch more. I don't know. We'll go with it. Let me see in the comments. It's just me, not all comments. No, so comments are a little weird on your end, huh? You guys? I'm just doing just fine over here. Binge watching Ed. I love that. A lot of people do, which is, you guys, I like I said, I appreciate you guys. I think that's awesome. It blows my mind. Erica says, I enjoy your weekly emails because it helps me design my own. See, this is why you guys pay attention. I love it. I see you guys throughout Facebook land where you're implementing these little strategies that you see and that you're picking up. And I am so proud. And that's what's up. So if you're not on my email list, you need to checkwithed.com has it right there on the homepage. Get on that. Okay, so ask yourself, tying back in the article before we head out here, ask yourself, does watching one video or episode encourage or compel viewers to watch more videos from your page? I don't know, you tell me. Ask yourself, is there a through line that connects episodes or videos? For example, theme, concept, cast. Yeah, I mean, I do. Ed Talk TV. It's a business talk show. You just never know what episode you're going to get, or you never know what you're going to get in an episode, but you know that if you show up, you're going to get a lot, and that you can take something and run with it right away. And then the third point you should be asking yourself, do you publish regularly enough that viewers have a clear expectation of when to come back for a new episode or video? Is it daily or weekly? Ding, ding, ding. There's that consistency factor. And again, now we're not relying on Facebook to show us. We're still using it kind of as a crutch, right? I mean, even if you're watching the replay, how many of you guys are like, yeah, I kind of still use it as a crutch though, Ed, versus putting it in your calendar one time and have it on repeat. Ed goes live at 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. Done. Like, why not? Put Ed in your calendar. Come on. So it's one of those things that, once you start getting into that habit, that consistency, then people know when to show up and when to keep coming back. And then that's how your page grows organically. That's how you get out there more without having to pay for ads. Now, of course, we have no control over, if Facebook's just like totally squashes us in terms of if you're not paying for ads, you're not getting any love in the newsfeed. There's nothing we can do about that. Except if we take these baby steps right now to practice training ourselves and then training our audience on ways that they can stay connected. Example, don't just like my page, follow my page, see first. But don't just do that. Get on my email list. Because for my email list, I send you just a weekly recap. Every once in a while, maybe something that's like super important or whatever, but mostly it's just the weekly recap. That way, if something ever happens to us here on Facebook, we're still connected. And you still get your weekly dose of information. And then you can pick through what you want instead of trying to scroll through Facebook and get distracted, or trying to go to the website and looking at the previous episodes, which you can do, or all of that stuff. Like, it's right, I'm here. Pause. Here you go. Done. Like that's it. So you have to get into those routines. And I will tell you, from starting at the beginning, I was scared. I was so scared when I thought about doing this show. Not to be on camera. I mean, that was scary too. But for me, it was more the commitment part. I was like, I wasn't doing anything consistent in terms of Facebook Live before the show officially kicked off. And I was like, and then I got to sign myself up for 5 days a week at the same time. What happens if XYZ happens? Well, I try to protect this time as much as possible. Sometimes it will be super short episode, and every rare occasion it will be no episode, but I let you know ahead of time. Things happen, and we're okay with that. We adapt, but at least we know there's some consistency we can come back to. And so that's what you want to start doing, especially for your business page, because it's a pay-to-play world unless you're willing to do the work. And then if you're willing to do the work, know that it's a lot of work and it's a lot of time. But you can do it. You got this. All you got to do is show up and deliver. And then once you get those viewers and those people engaging, then you jump into those comments and you make that magic happen. Make it happen. So, there's much more to this article, but we're not going to go over it. I'm going to drop this in the comments for you. I want you to let me know, even if you watch the replay or you come back and you watch this again later, keep the conversation going in the comments. Like I said, if you tuned in late, we have other links in the comments. You have the checkwithed.com. That gives you access to my world. Then you have the new workshop page that I created for you guys, so you can see previous workshops, and then the new one coming up next week. And then it also gives you access to Hey Ed membership if you haven't done so already. Obviously, my newsletter, you can sign up for that on any of those pages on the website. And then if you want to become a guest for the 100th episode to celebrate with me live here on the show, you can sign up there as well, because there's another link there. All these links, I know, I sound like a crazy person when I say all of those things, but I do it individually so that way it's easier for you guys, and I posted them individually, so hopefully it's easy for you to find. If nothing else, you can always tag me in the comments and I'll get you right to where you need to be. Hey, Whit, yes, definitely catch the replay. We're so happy that you tuned in, though. I appreciate you. And I'm going to leave you guys with this. Have a great evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you guys are at, and I'll see you here tomorrow. Take care.